to volume of a triangular prism. Now this one is going to be very similar. So let's take a look at Happy Mr. Triangle here. The difference that we're going to have is this. You're going to find the area of the front triangle. And then it's going to be like that sliced bread analogy. So I know how to find the area of a triangle. That's base times height divided by 2. We already know that, right? But if I'm trying to find volume, then that would mean that would be like a slice, right? And we just have to figure out how many slices it's going to be. And each slice would be a centimeter. So for example, if I said that this was 6 centimeters, and I said it had a height of 5 centimeters tall, then you would end up with 5 times 6 is 30, divided by 2 is 15, but then you need to see how many slices there are, and there'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Once again, that's just going to be base, height, and depth. That's all it's going to be. But you've got your base and height divided by 2 times the depth. So let's take a look back into our assignment. So it gives you that flattened out piece, and you have to imagine once again that it's all put together to find the area. And so here we have an example right here where you're going to go your base times your height divided by 2 times the length. And so let's look for the formula that it's going to give you right here. I want to point out a discrepancy that we have. Okay, check this out. Now I want you to pull out a calculator really quick, okay? Because we're gonna tell you why this looks different than what you had in class. All right. Okay, so you see my thing there? Okay, you're gonna take your show me board, and I want you to cut it in half. You're gonna take this formula, and you're gonna solve. Then you're gonna take this formula, and I want you to plug in these numbers. I'm going to pause this video while you do that for a second, then we're going to see what you come up with. All right, so let's take a look at this. We've got base times height, so that equals 30 over 2, which equals 15 centimeters squared. Now this way I've got 0.5 times 6 times 5. Well, guess what that's going to be? Half times base times height is the same formula as base times height divided by 2. The inverse of half of divided by 2 is times a half. So I just wanted to point that out. You may see this different formula than something that we've done in class. They are the same formula. So just so that's not too confusing later on. But of course, whoops, once you have your half base and height, or base times height, divided by 2, then you have an extra thing. You need to find the length, because you need the base area times the length. So here, if I find the base area here, I times it by the length or the height, I will find the overall volume. So here's an example of it being done. There's an attic is a triangular prism. Sketch the prism. So here's the prism of the attic. You can see that it has a base of 8 and a height of 3. B will be 8, base is 8, height is 3, length is 10. So base times height, and then that length right there is 10. If you take a look at how they do it, they have volume equals the area times the length. So first we have to find the area, and they used that formula a little different than we did. They did half times BH, we did B times H divided by 2. So they found the area. Then when they found the area, they times it by the length. Oops. So they found the area to be 12. 8 times 3 is 24 divided by 2. Now find the volume. So you've got two separate levels to this. And the volume is going to be the area times the length. So you've got two main things that you need to know for volume. Now let's take a look at this one right here. And we're going to say that this is 10 centimeters. Here is your equation or your formula for the area of a triangle. Here's the alternate equation for a formula. This is your formula for volume. It's area times length. So now that I already know the area of the front of this, and that is 15, I need to times it by the length. The length of this triangle or triangular prism, right here, 10 centimeters. So the volume, 150 centimeters, and don't forget that very important, cubed, right there. Okay, so you've got two steps when you're doing a triangular prism. One, find the area of the triangle. You can either use b times h divided by 2 or half times b times h. Same. Your formula for volume, area times length. So plug in your area from the first equation times the length, and you've got your answer. And don't forget the cubed by all means. All right, so that is pretty much all the meat and potatoes you need, and everything else is just cottage pudding on the side. So here is your assignment. I'm sure you have what you need to take it down. I do expect a few questions, and I look forward to answering them. And gosh darn patoot, we went 2 minutes over the YouTube limit, so it's going to be a two-parter. Ooh, I love a sequel. All right. So thank you for joining us. And since we've got this camera too, hi, thanks for joining us. And I hope I don't see you on YouTube because I want to see you in class because COVID's terrible and I'd rather have you in person. So stay safe and keep your stick on the ice.